Hey, it's Monday morning, 4 days away from our celebration of the coming of the Messiah. Have you really thought about how different our world is because of his arrival? Hey, this is Brad Coleman, and I hope you're having a blessed week as we lead up to the celebration of the coming of our Messiah, a Savior whose arrival changes everything. Everything about the way the world works changes with this humble arrival of a baby born into a feeding trough in a stable. There's a prophecy in the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 40, verses 3 and 4, that tell of the coming of this Messiah. Well, let me read that. It says, "A voice is calling, clear the way for the Lord in the wilderness, make smooth in the desert a highway for our God. Let every valley be lifted up, and every mountain and hill be made low. And let the rough ground become plain, and the rugged terrain a broad valley." That voice calling is a reference to John the Baptist, who's preparing the way for the Lord. He's clearing the path. But notice how this road is being paved. This path to salvation, this path to the Savior and the abundant life that he brings is being leveled. It's being made smooth. Every valley is being lifted up. Every mountain is being made low. In other words, in the kingdom of this Messiah, there's a level playing field. Now, that's not always the case in the kingdom of this world. In the road to the abundant life in the kingdom of this world, that's not always the case. Pastor Mike often reminds us that in this world, there are some that are born into circumstances that put them way far behind the starting line. And others are born into circumstances that give them a huge head start in life. And I think this is being made particularly evident during this unique season, during this time in our world and in our nation, when racial inequity and socioeconomic inequities are being highlighted and brought to the surface. We're being made more and more aware of the fact that in this world, there is not always a level playing field. But at the foot of the cross, the ground is leveled. And do you feel like you're in a valley? Well, just know that in the announcement of the coming of our Messiah, it's proclaimed that every valley will be lifted up, every valley exalted. You might feel like you're on top of a mountain, but don't get too comfortable there, right? Because in the kingdom that our Messiah brings, the proud are humbled, and every mountain is made low. That's just the way of the kingdom that our Messiah brings. Our Messiah who said things like, "The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. And whoever among you wants to be first needs to become the servant of all." His disciples said the same kinds of things. I mean, listen to the words of Peter in 1 Peter chapter 5. He says, "Clothe yourselves with humility toward one another. For God is opposed to the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you at the proper time." You know, as we enter into this time of celebrating the coming of our Messiah, let's be reminded that even his humble arrival reminds us that every valley will be lifted and exalted, and every mountain will be made low. I hope you have a truly blessed Christmas celebration.